What's up you guys, Tommy Shaw here. Now in today's channel what I'll be doing is, if you guys don't have any goals, the number one thing that you should do is this recommendation, okay? I'm gonna give you a recommendation that you can quantify and reasons to why I recommend this goal if you want to achieve high success in your life. So the number one thing that I recommend is that you save $20,000. If you don't have any goals, $20,000 should be your goals. Why do I say $20,000? It might seem like a lot of money, but the reason why I'm saying $20,000 is because I've noticed that in my life, every time that I would achieve this amount of money, what would happen is that opportunities would come my way. What kind of opportunities? Well, first of all, the first time I achieved $20,000, I bought my first home. Then I was able to rent out some rooms and I was making $11,000 a year on that money. So $20,000 was making $11,000. So the next time that I had $20,000, I bought a fourplex. I had saved another $20,000 and then I was able to buy another fourplex. Every time that I got to a certain point in life where I amassed $20,000, I was able to have another opportunity. Okay, another example of when I achieved another $20,000 goal. Once I got this $20,000 goals, what happens is that one day I go to the restaurant, I sit down, I eat, I talk to this guy, a random guy. I'm just talking about opportunities and that I'm looking for opportunities. I'm looking and I'm trying to see what's going on around the certain location. So this guy tells me, he sees in my eyes that I'm serious about what I'm talking about, and he says, "Are you really serious about what you're talking about and stuff like that? You want to invest?" I said, "Of course." Well, he said, "Well, I have this opportunity. I'm starting a restaurant, another restaurant, and I need $20,000 to get started." I'm like, "Okay, let's go look at the numbers. Let's go sit down and start looking at what is going on." I go inside the business. I see that the business is struggling and their financial balance sheet is not really correct and it's not going in their favor. So I tell them, "Okay, I'm not going to go inside the business, but what I'll do is I'll lend you some money, and every single month you'll just have to pay me back capital and interest at a certain amount." So I gave him a 10% interest loan and he had to pay me a certain amount every month. Or if he didn't respect the contract, what would happen is that every time he didn't respect that, there will be a penalty of $2,000 on the loan. So another 10,000, another 10% was added on top of that loan. So this is why I'm recommending you guys to have this one goal. Every time I got to this $20,000, opportunities would come my way. So this is why I'm telling you guys to, if you don't know what to do, you should start tracking your balance. You should tracking your money and try to save it every single month to get to that $20,000 goal. And what I can promise you guys is that all the discipline and hard work you're gonna do, and you're gonna start to value money, because once you get to that $20,000, you're gonna have to protect that money. And you'll see it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of management, and it takes a lot of patience to get to that $20,000. But remember, success is a process. And the number one step you should start doing right now is develop the discipline of somebody that has the ability to save money. Okay, because it's going to be very hard. Like, remember, most people that make $100,000 a year spend $120,000. So what I'm asking those people is to cut back on their spending, to go below $100,000 and to go to $80,000. So I'm asking them to cut back on $40,000. And remember, when you're spending money that's borrowed from the bank, that is not taxed income. There's interest on that loan, but there's no taxes on that $20,000. So in reality, that person that is spending $120,000 needs to cut back $60,000 just to save $20,000 in 1 year. That is why most people are not able to save money, and that is why you have a hard time to compare with other people, because remember, most people are spending more than they earn. So when you're comparing yourself and you're living below your means, you're going to be living a completely different lifestyle, because you won't be going out to restaurants, and you won't be living in the same neighborhoods as you used to live, and you won't be driving the same cars as you used to drive. This is why it's so hard to succeed, because you need to live below your means, and most people are not able to save or are not able to live below their means. And this is why I recommend young people, if you're starting out at 20 years old, it's better to start right now, because all the bad habits are not in place yet. When you're starting to save at 20 years old, it's a lot easier to start saving, because you don't have this big mortgage, you don't have that big house, and nobody expects much of you when you're starting out in your 20s. This is why it's so easy to start saving when you're 20 years old. And sometimes I hear people who are 30 years old, 35 years old, and they tell me, Tom, there's no rush. There's no rush to start investing right now. I'm still young and I can start saving later on in my life. That is bad recommendation. Or if you catch yourself saying that, you should start right away, because it makes no sense. If you have the chance to start right now, start right now, because it's gonna make a big difference in the long term. If you start saving at 20 years old, you could be financially free at 30 years old. If you start at 30 years old to invest for your financial future, there's a lot of chances you won't be able to cut back. All those bad habits are in place. You've been doing bad habits for 10 years. Imagine trying to change something that is psychological. It's embedded in your system. It'll be practically impossible to stop doing that unless you have massive discipline that comes up one day and you're like, yes, I want to change my life, or something happens and then you take that massive decision to change your life. So the reason why I'm saying, if you don't have any goals right now, start with this number one goal. Just start saving. And maybe it's going to take 5 years, maybe it's going to take 3 years, but once you get to that $20,000, you'll see that opportunities come your way and results start compounding. And I listen to this video every single day, The Compound Effect by Hardy something, and I listen to that video every single day. Why? Because it reminds me that things that are worthwhile takes time. So don't get discouraged because you only got $5,000, because you only got $6,000, or maybe you do have that money and you think it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but remember, you need to keep going because the compound effect is kicking in. And don't get to that $20,000 and then get discouraged and say there's no opportunities that come my way. Just wait a little longer, look for opportunities, have that mindset that something big is coming in your life. And this is why I wanted to give you guys this goal. So if you like this video, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a like, comments. Tell me what you liked about the video, what you appreciated about the video. I love making these videos. If there's something that I need to improve or anything like that you just want to mention, you just say, Tom, 20,000